Okay, guys, doing a second video in these unit circle notes right here. And really, I'm going to talk about just quadrant one, which is this sort of quadrant right here. I'm going to go through each of these things one by one. Um, so let's start. And I want to actually go back up here for a minute and talk about the stuff here. So this is all the stuff from the previous note sheet when we did the trig with the special right triangles. Um, And so I just copied this into this note sheet again. And really, I want to just look here. So um, when we're looking at sine, if we look at the sine of pi over 6, we know it's 1/2. The cosine of pi over 6 was a square root of 3 over 2. Okay. The sine of pi over 3 was just the opposite. So it's root 3 over 2 there. The cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. And lastly, when we're looking at pi over 4, the sine of pi over 4 is going to be the square root of 2 over 2, as well as the cosine of pi over 4 is going to be the square root of 2 over 2. Again, we all did this. This was all done in the second note sheet, which was the trig and right triangles. Um, so if you need to get a look on how we got these, please go back to the second note sheet and look at that. All right. On the first unit circle note sheet, we went through here and we converted all of these um, angles 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees into radians. All right. We converted all those to radians. So we changed 30 degrees was pi over 6, and 60 degrees was pi over 3. All right. 90 degrees was pi over 2 there. And then 45 degrees was pi over 4. Okay. And again, that's just converting the degrees to radians. Okay. All right. So coming down here. All right. And I want to make sure that we kind of keep this thing up here because we're going to sort of need it. And you'll kind of see why. Very important, ladies and gentlemen, that we sort of hang on to these values right here. This is going to be very, very crucial. And when we fill out these values in the first quadrant, it's going to make it really easy when we do the second, third, and the fourth. Okay, so let's go here. All right, so we're going to start with the quadrant one. So we're just going to work on the top right quadrant right here. All right, so let's look at our first angle right here. So our first thing here would be this triangle here. All right, now the angle is pi over 6. All right, so the angle is pi over 6. Okay, now if we recall, we also have a point. I'm actually going to put the pi over 6 under here as well. So it's pi over 6 for our angle. All right. Now we have this point. This point has an x value and a y value. All right. At that point, remember the x value, or the x value is going to be cosine pi over 6. It always is if you go back to the first set of notes. And the y value is going to be sine pi over 6. Okay. So the x value at this point is going to be cosine of pi over 6. Okay. And we already have that as root 3 over 2. The y value is the sine of pi over 6, which was 1/2. Okay, so here at pi over 6, root 3 over 2 is the x value, and then 1/2 is the y value. Okay, that's at pi over 6. Okay, which is also equal to 30 degrees if we go back into degree mode. Okay, but again, a lot of this stuff is in radian and radian world, so we need to be looking at these angles in terms of radians. All right. I want to skip up. And I'm going to do this one in green here. I want to skip up to this point right here. Okay. This point right here, the angle is pi over 3. And I'm going to erase this red triangle right here. I'm going to keep all this stuff on the outside there. I'm going to erase the red triangle. Okay, so here we're at a 60-degree angle, which is pi over 3 radians. All right. Now, we notice this point, the same with all the points. The x value down here is the cosine of pi over 3. The y value is the sine of pi over 3. All right. Going back to our stuff over here, the cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. The sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. Okay. So the cosine, which is the x value here, is going to be 1/2. And the y value is going to be the square root of 3 over 2. Okay, that's going to be at this point right here. All right. So that's when our angle is pi over 3 radians, which is equal to 60 degrees. So take a minute and get that down if you need to. Again, the pi over 3 is a 60 degrees. That's the angle down here at the origin. 1/2 and root 3, 2 are the coordinates of the point that lies on the circle, the point that this angle sort of takes us to. Okay, if we have this angle pi over 3, which is 60 degrees, the point on the circle is going to be 1/2 comma root 3 over 2. All right, we'll try to make a little room here for the one in the middle. So this one in the middle here, the angle is pi over 4, okay, which is 45 degrees. All right. So when we're going to our xy value here, the x value, again, any of these things here, the x is going to be cosine of our angle. The y is going to be the sine of our angle. So pi over 4, looking at pi over 4, the sine and the cosine are both root 2 over 2. So this point, the coordinates of this point right here, and I'm going to try to do this here, root 2 over 2, comma, root 2 over 2. Okay, and that's if we have a angle of pi over 4 radians, which is 45 degrees. All right, so those are our three angles in quadrant one. Um, if we want to look at two others here, this angle right here is 0 degrees. And we know the point is going to be 1, 0. Okay. And so we're at 0 degrees. All right, 0 radians or 2 pi radians. Okay, if we make a full rotation. All right. And so if we know we have a 0 degree angle, the cosine is 1 and the sine is 0. Okay. If we wanted to come up here, right, that's a 90 degree angle. 0, 1, which is um, pi over 2 radians there. And that's just the flip side to where, if we have a 90 degree angle, the cosine is 0, the sine is 1. But again, I'm more worried about these 3 points right here. Okay, so I'm going to stop this video right here. Hopefully you can digest it a little bit. Again, it links back into a lot of the other videos. So if you need to, I would first go back and look at the trig with special right triangles notes to make sure that we get these things down. And also make sure you watch the first video on the unit circle that I linked up here, because it gives you kind of a background information on how all this stuff kind of fits together and where we get our sines and cosines and our x's and our y's and our angle measures and all that. So if this is kind of foreign to you, make sure you go back and look at the last couple things, the last couple videos that we did. I'm going to do one or two more videos in this note sheet here, but I wanted to break it up in ways that kind of made sense to y'all. All right, so I'm going to do another video to do the last three quadrants, and we should be good to go from there. Have a good one.